welcome to this explainer. Okay, I am absolutely pumped to have you here today because we're bringing high energy and some serious hard data to crack the code on a topic that has completely divided the gaming community. We're talking about maximizing your free-to-play progression in whiteout survival. If you want to know exactly how to optimize your resources without spending a single dime, well, you're in exactly the right place.
So here's the absolute biggest question being constantly debated in world chats and Alliance Discords right now. Do you prioritize your hero gear, or do you pour all your hard-earned resources into chief gear? Most players, they look at their profile, see that big shiny power number go up, and think they're doing the right thing. But I'm going to tease something massive right off the bat. That standard power score the game shows you, it's a complete illusion. It's literally lying to you about how strong you actually are in a real fight.
Okay, let's dive into this. We're going to pit these two distinct upgrade paths directly against each other. On one side, we've got Path 1, the Hero Gear primary strategy, which focuses heavily on the lethality and health stats. On the other side is Path 2, the Chief Gear primary strategy. That one inflates your global attack and defense stats. So, which one actually wins battles? To turn a dense 30-page mathematical research paper into an undeniable strategy, we're going to hit 5 quick things. 1. The ultimate gear debate. 2. The secret combat physics. 3. The F2P resource economy. 4. The 18-month simulation. And 5. Your 4-phase progression master plan.
All right, Section 1. The ultimate gear debate. Hero versus Chief Gear.
Look, as a free-to-play player, resource scarcity means you simply can't upgrade everything at once. You have to make tough choices. But here's where so many players make a critical mistake. There's a massive difference between displayed power and true victory. Chief Gear is fantastic at inflating your ego with giant numbers on your profile screen, but we need to uncover what actually wins rallies, foundry battles, and state versus state, because what wins rallies isn't what makes your profile look pretty.
Moving on to Section 2, the secret combat physics, Lanchester's square law.
To really understand why that ego power fails, we're entering our matrix moment where we expose the game's hidden mechanics. The researchers behind this data actually developed a brand new metric called effective battle power, or EBP. They figured this out by applying Lanchester's square law, which is an actual real-world mathematical model used to predict military attrition, directly to the game's specific stats. And what EBP mathematically proves is that lethality and health absolutely dominate attack and defense. I mean, this changes absolutely everything.
Let's break down the actual math here. We're talking about elasticity, which is basically your combat multiplier effect. Increasing your lethality by just 1% gives you a massive 1.5 multiplier in battle effectiveness. Increasing health gives you a 1.0 to 1.2 multiplier. But attack and defense, they suffer from severe diminishing returns, sitting way down at just 0.7 and 0.4. So a 1% increase in lethality gives you incredible bang for your buck over attack. And remember, Hero Gear is exactly what targets lethality and health.
Section 3. The F2P resource economy, navigating bottlenecks.
Now, knowing that combat physics is great and all, but we have to apply it to the reality of the game's economy and those strict mathematical constraints we all face. When you spend a scarce resource, how much true battle power are you actually getting back? Well, investing Essence Stones gives you a 0.147% boost to your total EBP. Mithril gives you a 0.103% boost, but design plants, which are the bottleneck for Chief Gear, only give you a 0.014% return on investment. So Essence Stones and Mithril give an absolutely massive return compared to design plants.
When you map this out visually, the trajectory is just insane. The massive growth curve upward represents Essence Stones, and that sad little flat line struggling along at the very bottom, yeah, those are your design plants. Essence Stones consistently outperform design plants by literally an order of magnitude. It isn't even close. Every single time you have the choice between buying a resource for Hero Gear versus Chief Gear in an event shop, this is exactly what you need to remember.
Section 4. The 18-month simulation. Path 1 versus Path 2.
So the researchers didn't just stop at the theory. They ran a massive Monte Carlo simulation modeling random event drops and realistic F2P income over a 72-week period. And it brilliantly illustrates what happens over time. The strategy prioritizing Hero Gear just completely soars. Meanwhile, the strategy prioritizing Chief Gear is barely struggling to keep up. It's undeniable, mathematical proof of Hero Gear's long-term superiority over an 18-month timeline.
Let me deliver the absolute punchline to that entire simulation. 47%. That is the massive March kill ratio rally advantage that Path 1 secures over Path 2. If these two players clash in a rally, the Path 1 player is inflicting nearly 50% more casualties. No way around it.
But wait, here's the ultimate twist, that fake versus real contrast I warned you about at the very beginning. By the end of the simulation, the Path 2 player looks totally terrifying on a profile screen sitting at 128 million displayed power. The Path 1 player? Only 105 million. But because Path 1 has a 1.42 effective battle power compared to Path 2's baseline of 1.0, Path 1 will absolutely obliterate them in an actual fight.
Section 5. Your 4-phase progression master plan. So what does this all mean for you? Let's transition from theoretical math to a highly practical playbook you can use right now. The crucial point is adjusting your focus as your furnace level grows. Based on dynamic programming, Phase 1 covers furnace 15 to 22. Phase 2 is 22 to 27. Phase 3 takes you from 27 to 32, and Phase 4 is the late game, level 32 and beyond.
If you're in the early to mid-game, phases 1 and 2, here are the literal button clicks you need to be prioritizing. First up, equip all available hero gear and enhance it with low-level fodder. Second, spend absolutely every single mystery shop token you get on Essence Stones. Third, when you unlock Chief Gear, craft it evenly across all pieces just to snag the base set bonuses, but do not dump all your resources there. And fourth, push your Mithril exclusively to the level 20 milestone on your primary infantry hero for that massive health spike.
Now, fast forward to the late game in Phase 4, and your strategy has to evolve. You've hit the hardest bottlenecks on your primary hero gear, right? So to equalize the marginal utility across all the game systems, your free-to-play resource budget shifts to a more balanced split. You're going to want 40% going into hero gear, 40% into chief gear, and the remaining 20% into charms.
And finally, the whole shebang relies on this secret sauce, event timing. You can't just upgrade willy-nilly whenever you feel like it. You absolutely must batch your upgrades. Save your Chief Gear materials for State vs. State Day 5 to double dip on those points. Save your Hero Mastery upgrades for King of Icefield Gear Day. And utilize the Enigma event strictly for accumulating more Essence Stones. Batching your upgrades on these specific days amplifies your resource efficiency by up to 60%. It's a total game changer.
We've looked at the combat physics, the brutal resource bottlenecks, and the ultimate simulation. The math is simply undeniable here. It's time to drop the ego that comes with a big inflated profile number. Are you ready to stop chasing fake power, start following your true effective battle power, and totally rewrite your game strategy today? Apply this master plan and watch as you absolutely dominate the battlefield.